I had a great day. I won't complain. I won't complain. How was your day today? You over there looking real cute. Got your hat on, showing out. Hello. I don't have my glasses on, but hello, everyone. Okay. For some reason, it just cut out. So I'm not sure what happened. It said video done. That was really good. That was a lot of great information. Uh-huh. Hey. I don't see her on my end, so maybe she needs to come back in. Woo-woo.
I have two sisters. Invasive ductal carcinoma. Correct. Latissimus dorsi flap surgery.
She is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What happened? The first thing that happened was I found a lump in my right breast. And I'm sorry, not my right breast, in my left breast. There was a lump underneath. And so I thought it was a boil or something that could be popped. It had been there for a while. And something told me, I just spoke it out to my mom in a text and my sister. And I said, hey, I found this lump. And so my mom said, I'm going to make an appointment with the doctor to see about it. I was living in Las Vegas, Nevada at the time by myself. I was 38. So I had been there for about 5 years. And I was just so happened to be uh, changing companies that I was working for. So I had a break where I could drive to Bakersfield, go see the doctor, see my family for a week, and come back home. So I did that. I saw Dr. Castaneris, who is here in Bakersfield, California. She's a great doctor. She does internal medicine. She said, let's do a ultrasound and a mammogram. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking, you're going to pop this bump. I'm going to go on about my business. However, I went along with the program and I did that. And then I came back home to Vegas and started my new job. So I'll say about maybe a week or so, I received a call from her on my lunch break and saying that it was highly suspicious. And so we're going to do a biopsy. So that's the unknown. And like I said, I just started jobs and, insurance has to kick in on that. And I'm so thankful that it kicked in within a month. And so I scheduled the biopsy to be a month after I started because that's when it kicked in. The unknown was terrible. So doing the biopsy, I flew out, then flew back home. And on that following Monday, I went to work, going about my business. And I received a call when I got home. And it was my mom who called. And she said, Dr. Castaneris is trying to call you. I'm like, okay. So my mom puts me on three-way with her. And so that's when she told me that I had breast cancer. I didn't hear anything else. She was on the phone with us for about a good close to an hour telling me, don't worry, this is the early stage, but I really didn't hear anything else. I just heard that I was going to die. That's what you hear when you hear those words, because that I equate cancer at that time with, you get that when you get older. I didn't think I was going to be experiencing that at 38 years old. So I automatically was just like, oh my God. I sat down. Like I said, we were on the phone for about a good 45 minutes to an hour. And my mom and my dad, they were in the background. I'm in Vegas and they're in Bakersfield, so I'm by myself. And so all I could do was think of some of my good friends that I worked with to come over. And so they came and prayed with me because I had to go to work the next day. So that, how do you get yourself together to receive news like this and go to work? Nobody but God. Nobody but God. And so, my parents, I'm a woman of faith. I'm a child of God. I'm a Christian first and foremost. And, the only thing that I know to do is go to God. So, and then also I just wrote down, a friend of mine at work gave me a book to write my thoughts in, and so that's what I did. I wrote down. Was told I have breast cancer. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm scared, but I know that God will heal my mind, body, and soul. And I spoke that into existence, and that is exactly what He did. And He keeps His promises.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, on this healing journey, peace comes in all different forms. As far as like my true inner peace, I didn't start really feeling that until February of 2022 on this journey. And I was diagnosed in 2018. I had many challenges prior to 2018. I had many challenges. So, like you said in the beginning, there's so many different things that people are going through, and you don't know when you're going to be hit with the powwow. You don't know
Mm-hmm.
when that's going to happen. But one thing that I can say on this journey, even when I had experienced that, God was already preparing me for the battle. He had already paved the way. He already went before me. So had prior to this, because I dealt with a lot of different things. So cancer is just one of the things that I have to deal with. I've dealt with so many challenges in regards to health on this journey of life. So I was already ready for it.
Mhm.
So, being number one, I'm a firstborn daughter. You always got to go first when it comes to everything. Um, I experienced the dislocated hip when I was a child. I've gone under the knife twice at 9 and 10. So I had to deal with that. I was already dealing with that in Vegas, the arthritis from childhood. So I was dealing with that. Then also, one of the other things that I was dealing with was the estrogen problem. My flow, my cycle. A lot of women, a lot of Black women experience fibroids. And so you may have a cycle that does not stop. And that was me. And so, with that being said, not just dealing with that, and then also being unhealthy. I was overweight, so I dealt with that too. Um, I was dealing with all types of things, and I had to go to the cancer center in Vegas to get iron infusions because of dealing with the cycle and the estrogen issue, my blood count was extremely low. And so instead of me going to get a blood transfusion, I was already, like I said, he prepared the table before me. I was already experiencing cancer. I was dealing with the people there because I was going to get iron infusions. And one time I was just in the cancer center and I cried. I was like, Mom, I'm in here getting just iron infusions, and there's people in here fighting for their life.
Mhm.
I didn't know I was
Mhm.
going to be doing it that same year.
Wow.
But he prepared me
He
for
was
it. So he
preparing you.
was preparing me for it. Yeah.
Mhm. Wow.
And I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Protect being that I was sat down, and I say he sat me down for 3 years dealing with cancer, and I'm still dealing with. I'm in remission, but I had to have a come to Jesus moment because there were so many things on this journey that I wanted to experience. Like one thing, I didn't have children. I don't have children. I don't know what the future holds for me. So, but I had to come to peace with that on this journey. I had to come to peace. I had to ask Jesus to do that for me. He helped me to just literally remove anything that was negative from my life. He helped
Mhm.
me to look at myself in the mirror because when my hair fell out from chemotherapy, I was already dealing with the fact that I had traction alopecia due to wearing weaves all the time. And I had it hereditary as well. So coming to peace with losing my hair and knowing that it was not going to return, coming to peace with letting the wigs go because I experienced hot flashes due to the medication that I'm on. I had to come to peace with me, and that was because I had to ask Jesus to forgive me for everything that I did in my past and to restore me because I had already been healed from cancer as of May of 2019. I was told I was cancer free. So I was already healed from that. I was just going through the waves, wanting to be loved, I'm not being married, coming to peace with that, coming to peace with loving myself. Yeah, he taught me how to do that. He took my hand and literally we still travel together. I'm traveling with him until I check out and see him.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just needed him and I had to realize that's all you need. That's it. And
Mhm.
I'm just eternally thankful. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Mm-mm. Mm, that's so true. Mm-hmm. Back to back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned traveling, and when I think about peace, I always kind of think about when they were having the storm in the Bible, and Jesus showed up and and made the command for the peace to be still. I think about peace as being like blissful. I think of it as like it's calmness. It's kind of like it's quiet at times. I think of it as a feeling where you just feel it in your body and in your soul and in your mind. I also think of it as, when we leave and we like, peace, I'm out, so it's like peace is a lot of things. It's like a friendly, goodbye, to someone. I just did a picture and I posted on Facebook and I did the peace sign, I'm a little goofy, I like to have fun. So sometimes my, sometimes some, yeah, I love to have fun. Sometimes my peace shows up in many different ways. So when you say, what is my definition of peace? It can be the way I look one day. I might have the biggest smile on my face, or I might be showing up with kindness. It's the way you show up and how you present yourself sometimes. Sometimes you need that. You have to also speak that peace like you do. Speak that peace over your life. Speak life back into yourself when you're going through a storm, because the storm is not going to come back and speak to you. It's going to make you feel a certain way, but you have to speak that peace back into your life. And speaking that peace back into your life is the word, using the open up your Bible, and speaking that peace, back over your life. So that's my long version of peace.
Said peace is consistent. Peace doesn't waver, even though we may waver, but peace is consistent. But once we grab hold to that peace and
Mhm.
the character of peace, let me put that way, is consistent, that it will now allow you to be consistent. Number two is that peace is gentle.
It
They're very
is.
gentle. It's a sedative that calms you down. And I was telling Pamela a phone. There's many times because I had a very severe illness in my life, and God had healed my body. But I remember one time being in so much pain that I had to lean back, and this is for me, And as Pamela and I always tell you, we are a Christian therapist, so we do the secular client and Christian. But I had to
Yeah.
lean back, and once I had took that word and just meditate on by Jesus stripes I'm healed. Let's just stay there and saw myself heal and to the point that I was over the peace within me was overriding the pain that I felt the
Mhm.
ease in my body. So peace is consistent. Peace is gentle. And watch this, peace does not compromise. Somebody type that down.
Mhm.
Peace does not compromise. It doesn't compromise for confusion. Peace doesn't compromise for fear.
Oh,
Peace is just peace. It doesn't have to, because watch, it doesn't have because it's constant. Okay.
yeah.
Those math problems that are constant, it never has to constant because it's as is. And then
Yes.
peace is not competitive. Okay.
Nope.
Peace will not compete for anything. It will not compete with fear. It will not compete for because here's a saying: when you feel like your peace is walking out the door, you better follow your peace. And
Mm-hmm.
that is so important because
Keep it with you at all
keep
times.
it with you
Amen.
At all times.
keep it with
Yes.
you at all time. And Carla, that's what I was hearing from you, is that when you got the grip and then you was taking arm in arm with God to go through this, then you was experiencing his peace. His peace was downloaded in your spirit, and from your spirit
Yes.
it was downloaded into your mind.
Yes.
And that's the key thing. Go ahead, Carla. You point your
I
finger.
I love that you said download because
Yes.
that is what he does. And I had prayed before this, and I'm like, Lord, just download me. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, peace is forever downloading.
Mm-hmm.
And it's constant, and it feels good,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does.
Mm-hmm. A moment. I just want to thank you. Our Facebook family is in and they're commenting. Felicia, and I saw somebody else. Thank you so much. Keep typing in. But let me something about peace, and we're going to take this right here. What is the requirements for peace?
Mm.
And Carla, I'm gonna hit on you because you're get. You just look so blessed. And Carla, I just want
She
to
does.
let you know
She's
right here.
flowing.
I'm gonna let you know right
Mhm.
here in front of everybody. I decree the best is yet to come in your life.
Mhm.
All that you've been desiring,
Mhm.
you keep seeing. You have to see it. See what God see. And regardless of whatever, when you start seeing that and grab hold to that, then you're going to start seeing the manifestation. So desire marriage to all that, that's yours.
It's yours.
Uh-huh.
Amen.
And don't speak anything opposite of that, because watch, because peace cannot get in agreement with that.
Mhm.
Got that? So let me ask you, what was Carla's requirement for peace? Because peace has a requirement. Let me give you an example. Peace will cause you to live from the inside out rather from the outside in. And that was happening for you, Carla, which I believe you were starting to live from the inside out rather than the outside in. Not that you was denying what was taking place, but you chose a stronger place to be in, a more secure place that would help you to override what you was going in the outside. Am I about, Carla? Go ahead and hit on that.
I chose to always walk in my truth.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to worry anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to worry. And
Mhm.
that was one of the things that, I literally felt I was attacked. It seemed like, when is this going to stop? When am I going to, I'm always dealing, this is what I used to think, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's always something, and
Mm-hmm.
not that I'm not ready for anything, but it's like, when will the pain go away? When
Mm-hmm.
can I just be free of just
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
terrors that I
Mm-hmm.
was dealing with?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so it took work,
Yes, it does.
because it's the battle of the mind.
Yes, it
And
is.
God had to transform me. And that's
Mm-hmm.
a daily walk. That's a daily
Yeah.
walk.
Yes, it
Every
is.
morning, when you wake up, you got to start back at the Genesis. You got to start back
Oh,
over
wow.
again. And
Mhm.
so for me,
Mhm.
I have constant battles that
Mm-hmm.
um, I have to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
So I protect my peace.
Mm-hmm.
That means if I have to put my phone is on do not disturb. So
Mhm.
whenever anybody tries to call me, you're not going to get me.
Mm-hmm.
I will present myself when I'm ready, because I want to always put my best foot forward.
Mm-hmm.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's helping me to keep my peace, because you never know what you're going to receive. You never know what you're going to hear. And you have to be ready at all times. And I got to be ready for me, because this is my body. This is my shell. This is what I have to live in. And my spirit lives on. And my spirit is ascending. So I have to be at peace. And I have to be at peace with this body, number one. And
Mm-hmm.
so this body is flesh.
Mm-hmm.
I have to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I want my calm at all times. So the power of no, if I say no, no means no. If I
Yes.
say yes, yes means yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Somebody,
I like that.
Queen said, to protect my peace, I've learned to say no to others, and yes to myself. And I get it. When I was very ill, that's just a long story, but within itself, about to graduate from college. When I was very ill, I didn't let anybody and everybody in my house.
That's good.
I was fighting for my life, and I had to maintain. See, that was a requirement for peace for me. For requirement of peace is that I had to know who was going to support my peace and who was going to be working against my peace. And said, this is good, yes, no means no. And if anybody, and then if anybody was going to violate that peace, they couldn't come to my house. Because see, everybody wasn't believing what I was going to believe, because I was believing that I was going to live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. Even though my physical body and everything looked very different than what I was saying, but I had to keep my mind intact. So I couldn't have nobody coming over crying and boo-hooing or saying it. So I monitored. My mom said somebody wanted to come over. I said, no, they can't come over, but they can come over. I monitor because I was going through a tsunami, and I had made up my mind that I was not going to die, but live and declare the works of the Lord. It was a battle. And like you said, the biggest battle, audience, Authentic Talk fam, the biggest battle you will ever have is in your mind. And you got to get that mind because see, the mind controls the body. And so you have to get that mind lined up with that body. And everybody, and I know everybody out there may not believe in the word, but you need the word in order to have substance in that's coming up from your spirit, in order for your mind to be sealed with the right thing to give to that body. That is so important. So I hear what you're saying, that Carla, is that the requirement of peace for you was to protect yourself. And to protect your, and everybody requirement is different when it comes to peace.
That's true.
Isn't that about right? Everybody.
That's so true. Yeah.
Everybody requirement is different. You know, I was reading this, and I really believe this is for somebody today. This like it's anybody who's experienced healing in their body, but who's going through something. This book, Dr. Hugh Beatty, he had sent me something. He's a friend of Sean and I, and this book is called The Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. And I just started reading, but it's a really good book. But Pam, Carla, what I was hearing, you had to break the habit of worrying. See, people doesn't realize, Pamela, is a lot of people walk into a challenge with bad habits that can't carry them through the process. Is that about right, Pamela?
Yeah.
And so they need new habits or develop new habits in the process. But he said this. He said habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. And he said, just the same way that money multiplied through compound interest. And what he was saying is, he have a diagram. He said your habits can compound for you or compound against you. And the two things that stood out to me, he had them in like a window with four segments. He said productivity compound, and then he said stress compound. And what I like what he said is that we create these habits. So he said this, you may have a new habit to lose weight. Just because you go to the gym for 3 days, you're still out of shape. He said just because.
Amen.
Try walking up those stairs somewhere. You'll know you out of shape.
Right.
It doesn't matter what size you are.
Because you're learning a new language does not mean that you have learned that language entirely. But he said people give up if they don't see quick results. But if you keep consistently with that habit, just do a bit at a time, then it will accumulate over the years. So and then he said there are stress compounds, and this is Carla, what you were saying is that these are negative compounds that work against you, and that is like you stress, worry about a situation. And then he said knowledge compound is that you're always learning something new, reading a book. These are developing good habits. And then your negative thought compound. He said what you think. Watch this. What you think is what will become the reality in your life. I'm just paraphrasing, but I thought that was so important, is that people, and when I'm hearing what you're saying, Carla, is that when people are going through, they have to condition their mind to weather the weather.
Yeah.
To weather the challenge is what I'm saying. Is that about right?
That is correct. You have to, because you're dealing with everything that you were already dealing with. And then you're dealing with your life. And a lot of times, for women, people and everyone, when you receive something, you're already dealing with whatever else you were dealing with. So now you put that on top of it. So you're anxious and you're depressed. You're dealing with, you're grieving because you
Yeah,
didn't
I
even
was just
know.
thinking that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you deal with grief. And I dealt with grief for a very long time until I had to recognize that I got to live.
Mm.
Um, I didn't understand that that's what it was, but every day you learn more about yourself. And if, one of the things that I've recognized is we suffer in silence. And I didn't want to do that. So I reached out. I reached out to different um, people that I knew were trained to help me.
Mhm.
Um, and then that's how I found the organizations Tiger Lily and Young Survival Coalition, just because I didn't suffer in silence. And that right there, suffering in silence, you're going to be in disturbia because of the unknown and not knowing what you're dealing with or how to deal with it.
Mhm.
So you have to speak up for yourself if you're going to protect your peace. And
Mhm.
that's one
Yes.
thing that I had to learn how to do,
Mhm.
is to speak up for myself,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because who else can do it?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Well, Pam,
Mhm.
what would a therapeutic process look like when a person is coming in with a challenge or they're facing a detrimental illness or whatever it
Mhm.
be? And she said that she didn't want to suffer in silence. So when they
Mhm.
come to see us for therapeutic process, I just want you to hit on that.
Mhm.
What would it be? How could we help them not to suffer in silence? What's some techniques? Some
Mhm. So I was just sitting thinking that, before you said grief, a lot of times when you get a new term, like a terminally ill, although you don't know how it's going to turn out, that's how they look at it. When you get a diagnosis like that, the first thing I think about is meeting that person where they're at. I'm not coming in trying to bring my agenda and saying, oh, do this and do that. I'm meeting that person where they're at, and I am doing a lot of active listening. And that's what I've been doing this whole time, just kind of like actively listening, to you. And then I was thinking also about grief, because sometimes we don't realize, we always connect grief to that main one thing, and I don't want to bring all that up, but we forget that that person grieved their former self. So you had to kind of like grieve your old self and also coming to terms with your new self. And it sounds to me that and I don't want to be push ahead of time, but if we went through the stages of grief, you finally kind of got to where you can accept, what was going on, and you were learning the new you. And now it sounds like you fell in love with your new self. Is
Mhm.
that correct?
I did.
Yeah.
I
So
did. Yeah.
yeah, so that's what I was just thinking in my mind. That's how, I would approach someone coming in to talk to me about this new diagnose, and always, thinking, how are they doing with grieving their former self? Because I'm pretty sure it was a lifestyle change for you, not only in your mind, but in your body and in your diet. I'm pretty sure things that you were consuming inside of you, you had to stop, taking some of those things, or drinking some of those things, or eating some of those things that you used to eat. Because, when we're young, we think we can eat everything in the world and we're going to be just fine. But we don't realize that taking care of ourselves starts from the beginning, and it just continually going throughout until, our life, throughout our life. So that's what I would do, just in a nutshell. I would just actively listen and meet that person where they're at. And then I would definitely check in with, how are you practicing self-care for yourself?
Mhm.
What are you doing daily, and not just like, oh, I'm going to get my nails done, I'm going to the spa. That's good. Don't get me wrong, but you're needing some things that you can do daily to kind of keep you on that path of positive mindset, and keeping your hopes up and your spirits up.
Mhm. And I would even
Mhm.
I would even think of, later on in the process, the therapeutic process, I would like to do the empty chair technique.
Mm.
And that is so powerful. That's one of the that I like. And what I would like to do is whatever the challenge may it be relationship or illness or whatever, when that person's ready, because you know when they're ready,
When they're ready, yeah.
they'll sit in the chair and it'll be an empty chair. So say cancer is sitting in the chair, and
Wow.
you write a letter, mail it, it'll come back, and you
Mhm.
write that letter and speak to cancer. Say that, look, I've overcame you. You're not going to take my life. Tell
Mhm.
everything you want to say to cancer, whatever you want to say to that divorce, whatever way you
Mhm.
want to say,
You
whatever it may be.
declare and decreeing how your life is going to be moving forward.
Right, and then I would write another letter, especially for Carla and those who have overcame or been in the position where Carla has been in their life. I would write
Mhm.
a letter to my old self,
Mm.
and let the old self let them know the progress that has taken place with the new me.
Mhm.
You know, let them know that my hair is. I don't have hair, but it's beautiful. Oh,
Yeah.
I know that I'm sexy because I'm wearing my shirt off the shoulder a little bit. You know,
Come on. Come through, Carla.
and those letters are very important, because number one, it taps right into that not being silent, and
Yes.
it also allowed to you express what is actually coming on and that new level that I'm entering into. Um,
Mhm.
and the authentic talk family, if you're going through that and you're not going to therapy, those letters are very important that you can even do at your own home. Just get you a chair,
Mhm.
write the letter, mail it off,
Yeah.
send it back to you, and read them over. Because it's all about talking and getting the words out of there, and that is so important. And then Carla, you said something and it rolls right into it, and I want to pull. You kept saying the unknown, and when the audience you have time, I want you to read the Daniel, and Daniel, because he would not bow to the king's
Mhm.
rule, which was he was influenced, the king was influenced by the other, what I want to say.
The ones that was hating.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the administrator, whatever, that wanted his, because they were jealous.
Mhm. They were jealous.
Opened the window and kept praying, kept going forward.
Mhm.
And so the
Mhm.
king put him in into the Daniel lion's den. But this is what I got out of it. Three things that I got out of it, and it says, a challenge or tsunami can be dark. It can be loud. And Pamela, you
Mhm.
and I were talking about this. And then, Carla, you hit right on it. And I want you to tap on that, Carla. And it can consist of the unknown. And all three of these contradict peace. And Carla, what was the unknown to you? What was the unknown to you? Because you
The
kept,
un
yeah, because you kept saying the unknown. You said it about two or three times. What was the unknown to you?
not knowing what I was facing,
Mhm.
not knowing how I was going to face it,
Mm-hmm.
um, not knowing what the future holds. That's the
Mhm.
unknown. And, a lot of times we want to predict things. And the thing is, tomorrow is not promised. So the
Mhm.
unknown was, am I going to die tonight? That was
Mhm.
my piece. That was what was disrupting me every day in regards to my past self.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that not knowing if I was going to wake up the next day, that's the unknown. And I wasn't ready to go because my peace was disturbed.
Mhm.
And that was my life with Christ. So
Mm-hmm.
that for me was the unknown, regardless of the challenges that I have to face.
Mm-hmm.
I still have challenges that I haven't even faced yet. And one of the things in regards to cancer, a lot of women, they're scared of the unknown. You have women that have survivor's remorse. You
Mhm.
have women who are scared to go to their follow-up appointments.
Mhm.
You have women who are scared of having scans. I just had one
Mhm.
on last Tuesday. I wasn't scared.
Mhm.
People have scan anxiety. I don't have that.
Peace.
I look forward
Yeah.
to I look forward to knowing what's ahead. I look
Yeah.
forward to knowing what's going on in my body because it's mine. It's nobody else's.
Mhm.
And I need to always be ready for what's next.
Mm-hmm.
So being at peace, that allows me to be ready for what's next
Mhm.
in this stage of life. So in regards to could cancer come back for me? it could come back for anybody. 1 in 8 women will receive breast cancer in this lifetime. So I encourage everybody to be ready for what's next, to find
Mhm.
your peace, because you have to
Mhm.
protect your peace, because you do not know what you're going to deal with if you
Yeah.
are promised tomorrow,
Mhm.
because it's
Mhm.
not promised. So tonight
Yeah.
we could go to bed tonight, and this may be
Yeah.
the last night, sisters. So I wanted that peace. I needed that peace to know that I know where I'm going.
Mhm.
And so the unknown, it's inevitable. I'm good.
Mhm.
You're good. I
Yeah.
love that. I love it.
There's a fear of not waking up on the other side, and
Mhm.
such a scary thing. And happy to be on the other side. We're happy for you to be here. Hugs to anyone going through. That is a beautiful message right there. Very beautiful.
Yeah, that is.
A very beautiful message.
Mhm.
Um, Carla, you have some organization. You said Lily Tiger, Tiger Lily,
Tiger Lily.
something else. Explain those.
Tiger Lily Foundation. So on this journey, I was already on social media. And so I just shared my journey, my day to day life, and not knowing that I had a story, because people would come to me and be like, oh, I see your story. Well, I'm just being me. I'm in it. So, but while I'm in it and just sharing, I received an inbox through Instagram from the Tiger Lily Foundation asking if would I like to. They're looking for women of color who would like to be advocates. So they saw that I was
Mhm.
surviving cancer. And so, yeah, I joined their team. The founder of Tiger Lily is Mama Carmo,
Mhm.
and she's a Black cancer survivor. I believe like 15 years surviving from one of the ones that that society has stigmatized as very one of the bad cancers, which
Progressive.
cancer,
Uh-huh.
aggressive cancer is
Mhm.
cancer, and that's triple
Mhm.
negative. She's a survivor of triple negative. So to all my sisters who are facing triple negative breast cancer, the sky is the limit. Don't allow what you've received, your message, to define your story, because you can
Mhm.
live, you can surpass breast cancer,
Mhm.
of any kind, any cancer of any kind.
Mhm.
So the Tiger Lily Foundation, that's how I came about into that realm. And so with that realm, I receive opportunities of just learning more about cancer, breast cancer, all different things, and just how to fight for us. The Young Survival Coalition, my nurse, when I was diagnosed here in Bakersfield, California, I started treatment at the Adventist Health AIS Cancer
Mhm.
Center, and
Mhm.
there, my one of my best friends and my nurse, who was there from jump, who
Nice.
helped give me the news. She was a survivor, and she was with the Young
Wow.
Survival Coalition. And
Mhm.
so with her guiding me, I met phenomenal women of all colors. And
Mhm.
so I am now a face-to-face coordinator with the Young Survival Coalition. And monthly we
Nice.
host virtual hangouts for
Mm.
women of color. I, along with two other fabulous cancer sisters, we speak to women from throughout the United States, women of color, and we help them to have the courage to fight the battle and to be confident while going through it. So, and yeah, we have that every month.
Hmm.
The last two, that gives me peace, because after I was healed, I said, "I'm Jesus, take the wheel, and I will walk with you, and I will speak for the voice. I will be a voice for the voiceless." And yeah, and that's what I'm doing,
That's
walking in my
good.
truth.
You're
Good.
you're speaking
Mhm.
Philadelphia. I don't know if anybody should know that, but she's gonna be in Philly.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
and that's all I can say about that. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. But yeah,
Okay.
I look forward to that.
And well,
Mhm.
when it's over with, then we'll
Yeah.
talk about it. Are
Yeah.
there any other organizations that you are involved in? Because when I see you on Instagram, you either modeling or you are doing social media. Give us a little bit more insight of some things that you are doing.
Another group is the Black and Brown Breast Cancer Support Group, which is founded by another survivor, a dear friend of mine. Her name is Michelle Miller.
Mm-hmm.
So that's on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
We also have a close knit group chat on WhatsApp with survivors. That's called Survivors with Voices.
Nice.
And so that's, we definitely, we have a thread where we're just communicating with each other, giving each other courage and hope. Also, I go to the senior center every day. They have, you don't have to be a senior to go hang out. And
Mm-hmm.
since I'm still in the road of recovery, I go there. They have workouts, the enhanced fitness program. Dignity Health puts that on there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And so it's helped me tremendously with just my range and working out to give me more peace. It helps me to be more peaceful. I learn how to speak to people of all ages, and I call them my grands because I'm the youngest there. But I get joy from just being around them and just being a voice for the community. I just love. I'm free, and so with that being said, I get to pay it forward and just live and my best life and just show the love that God gives me. So that's what you see me
Mhm.
doing.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a beautiful thing. You know,
Mhm.
when this is something that had came to me, and this can be for someone. It says when peace kicks in,
Mhm.
okay, during your challenge or your tsunami in life, okay, whatever stage or process you're in, you are becoming more emotionally mature, and Carla
Mhm.
has become emotionally mature. And
Yeah.
therefore, when you are more emotionally mature, then you are more receptive to wisdom and insight that is accessible as a result of you going through the process. And for those who are going through whatever your tsunami may be life or challenge,
Mhm.
you have to go through the process because you definitely don't want to repeat it again. But
Mhm.
in that process, you have that emotional maturity, just like things just don't bother you anymore like they used to bother you. Things that you used to worry, those habits start to just fall off of you, and you're taking on new habits, and you're being
Mhm.
strengthened through the process. I like to say it like this. I like about the eagle, the eagle knows how to rise above, but when that storm is taking place, they know how to ride right in the midst of that storm to get the strength to go on and do what they have to do. And those who are listening today, you have to realize that you are eagles and you're not chickens.
Mhm.
Amen.
And an eagle always see where a chicken always look. And an eagle always make it through the storm because it's always seeing
Mhm.
above. Where a chicken always looking around them. They're looking at the problem. They're looking at the situation. So you just
Mhm.
have to make a decision. What one are you? Are you the eagle or are you the chicken? Are you
Mhm.
walk as a champion or do you walk in as a victim? And that's what we're trying to emphasize today. This is a very deep topic because, like Pam and I was talking, nobody's exempt from challenges because it's life. But it's just what you do with it in order, to overcome. We're going to do a couple things. Pamela, could you talk? As always, let those who are new to let them know any counseling service that anybody may be in for needing service. And after we complete that, if we can have beautiful Queen Carla pray for those who may be experiencing ailment in their bodies or who may have cancer or just whatever their challenge may be. If you can just pray for those in the audience and then for the viewing audience, would you please share? This is so important. Sharing is free. So just
Mhm.
pass it on. So this message may not be for you, but if it's somebody, it should be for you because everybody have a challenge. You may not have one right now, but you will have a challenge and you're going to have to pass the test. So go ahead, Pamela.
Yeah, I just go really quickly because I really would like for Carla to share about some support groups that's
Mhm.
around it, town, and maybe someone doesn't have insurance and can't go to therapy, at least they can go to a support group.
Mhm.
So, really quickly, if you do have insurance or if you don't have insurance and you can pay, you can definitely look for a therapist through your private insurance, your member service. You can go online to Psychology Today. We have some therapists that we know in Bakersfield, California. We know Naisha Davis. She has her own business, Life Connections or Inspire Me Wellness and Counseling Center. We also support Therapy for Black Girls as an online platform where you can look up therapists in your area, because that therapist would have to be licensed in that area where you live at, or either um, is located there. However they want to do it, they can do it through video or you can do it through in person. But I want to gracefully allow Carla to step up and talk a little bit more about the support groups and how you may connect someone that first find out about being diagnosed. Where can they go to get the support that they need?
Yeah. In regards to that, so
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook, we have it's the Black and Brown Skin Support Group, Breast Cancer Support Group. So you
Mm-hmm.
can type it in as that, so Black and then the and sign, Black and Brown Breast Cancer Support Group. Also, youngsurvival.org, and they're on Facebook as well. So look up Young Survival Coalition.org, and you can find them on Facebook. They are on Instagram too. I know
Mm-hmm.
there's different chapters in each state, but youngsurvivalcoalition.org. If you go directly to that page, you'll be able to find the information on that platform. And then the TigerLilyFoundation.org. They also have different resources
Mm-hmm.
on there that you can find, and you can branch out and find counseling through them, I believe. Also, there's the Links for Life here in Bakersfield. That's another support. That's another organization that helps. They help me. They do have counseling. I know you can meet. They meet once a month at their building. It's been a couple. It's been a while since I gone to that, but they are there and they're phenomenal when it comes to helping. And also, they can give you resources on if you're having an issue with income. There's also through the Clinica Sierra Vista,
Mhm.
you can go there. They
Mm-hmm.
have the what is it called? I have chemo brain, so bear with me. But
Okay.
it's a breast and cervical cancer treatment program. So if you it goes based off your income, but what they do is they help you financially if you do not have insurance, and if you do have insurance, you can use them as a co-insurance to
Mm.
help you in the journey. So that's one thing. That's a beautiful thing about living in the state of California.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that program is there for a lot of people, and they don't know that that is a great resource because it helped me.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, wrapping up our time, go ahead, Carla, and pray for someone as God lead in your heart too.
What I can do is give you a powerful message of, which is my prayer. I like to pray in private, and that's just me.
Hmm.
However, for anyone that is just looking for peace, I just pray that you find it within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One thing, if you're a believer, if you are a person of faith and you believe in God and you believe in Jesus, then you know that He will be the peace in your storm. He's always there. He's here today. He's here forever. And He can guide your hand and lead you. And when you humble yourself, because that's the first thing about anything in this journey, you have to be humble because you do not know what is in the realm that you're going to face. And that's your spiritual warfare. It's you. It's what's inside you. It's your inner enemy, which is the inner me. And so you can face that, but you can't face it by yourself. You have to face it with Jesus. And he is the way, the truth, and the life. And so with him, all things are possible. And by his stripes, I am healed. And by his stripes, you can be healed too if you believe. And that's the beautiful thing. That's the beautiful thing about God. He will set you free because I'm free because of him. And so if I can do it, so can you. And that's my prayer for everyone.
That's it, right?
Nice.
That is it.
Yeah.
Well, Carla, I just consider it an honor for you to be on the show, and you are truly authentic and beautiful.
Yes.
You're the epitome of a royal queen.
Mm.
And I just decree just the best is yet to come in your life. And your
Mhm.
steps are ordered by God. And he got everything paid off. And you can just look at you and you have peace. If
Mhm.
they ask someone to actually describe a picture of peace, it would be you right now. And so we just thank you for that. And Authentic Talk family, I hope that you took down notes. I hope you play this again and share it with your other friends. And whatever you're going through out in the audience, keep in mind, go through the process,
Mhm.
yourself at the other end, and become emotionally mature so you could be receptive to the wisdom and the insight for your. And so everybody make sure that you have a good night. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
Carla. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
See
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.